Hey, good morning. Chief Isakson here on Tuesday morning, starting a little early because I got to keep it short. My youngest Lucas, who's out here fishing last night, caught a pretty big redfish, has his AP exam, so I got to make him a little breakfast. But yesterday, Jessica was thinking about me when she was at the store, and she got me this. Be the best version of you. Goes great with what we talked about yesterday, be in competition with the man or the woman in the mirror. Just please, if you're watching this and you got the People Before Water PowerPoint and or PDF and email because you're signed up for the box alarm, just type got it. That's all you got to do. We just want to make sure people got it. It was sent out to the thousands of people that are on our box alarm email. So it was sent out. Scott had a little bit of technical issue, but he finally got it sent out in two different options, on PowerPoint and on PDF. So check your box alarm email, but you should have the PowerPoint for People Before Water. Just in the comments, type got it. So real quick this morning, People Before Water, we want to get people teaching that, sharing it. The big thing is the force multiplier of personnel, the 6 and 6, getting 6 people on the fire ground. 3 primarily focused on stretching a line and getting water on the fire. The other 3 are going to be 2 of them doing a search. The third one's that second due driver providing water supply to the first due engine, possibly OV, stretching a line. Those things will vary based on the incident or location. One of the biggest questions we get about the booster backup and People Before Water is the hose line used between the 2 rigs. We use a custom order 75-foot green line. Why green? Green is for go. That's right. If you like that, in the comments type green is for go. Green is go, 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 because everything for us is about go. That's what it's about until we're told to stop. So we use a green 3-inch key hose feeder line that we easily can provide from the engine, supply engine to the attack engine over 1,000 GPMs. How do you do that? Well, if a 2-inch tip at 80 PSI on a master stream is 1,000, then what's 80 PSI coming out the end of an open butt 2.5-inch coupling fed by a 3-inch? Well, it's going to be over 1,000 gallons. So I'll tell you, I'm really against using LDH Storks couplings when you're talking about one rig supplying another rig and it's less than 300 feet in distance. Anytime you're less than 300 feet in distance and a supply engine, the banker is what I like to call it, is feeding water to an attack engine less than 300 feet away, say on the fire ground. The hydrant is 500, 600, 700 feet away. That LDH 5-inch is supplying the banker that controls the water, controls the money, and now it's feeding multiple rigs on the fire ground. Use 3-inch hose with national standard threaded couplings that is tested at the factory at a higher pressure rate. We, the fire service, have got to stop being consumed with LDH couplings and LDH hose. LDH 5-inch, 4-inch, 5-inch, LDH hose is for laying it. Whether you lay in or lay out. 5-inch is not hose you stretch on a fire ground. 5-inch LDH hose is not hose you stretch on a fire ground. I'm sorry that you got in the fire service after the American Fire Service was using 3-inch and 2.5 as supply, and all you know is LDH. But there are problems with using LDH on the fire ground, and it is a hose that we catch a hydrant for a forward lay, or we drop it and we reverse out to the plug. But when we're on the fire ground and an engine is feeding another engine, an attack engine, or the banker that has the supply line coming into it is feeding an aerial ladder, use 3-inch hose. That's another thing. Don't use LDH hose from a pumper, an engine on the fire ground to feed a ladder pipe, an aerial device. Use NST couplings. Use 3-inch hose that is coupled, tested at a higher pressure at the factory. Another thing is when you use 3-inch hose and it's less than 300 feet in distance on a fire ground, it's probably going to be 100, 200 feet if it's it's a banker, the engine, supply engine feed an aerial ladder, especially if you're going through the rear. If you're using that, now it requires a little more pressure for the volume, and you're going to get that pressure that you need to create a stream. It's not just volume. You need some type of pressure to get it up the ladder pipe and get it out of your tip. So just some quick nuggets on the importance of understanding that LDH hose is a supply hose from the hydrant to the scene, whether it's a forward lay or reverse lay. But anytime you're moving water less than 300 feet on a fire ground, try to stick the 3-inch hose with national standard couplings that have been tested at the factory that can handle higher pressures. It's a much better way of doing operations. Commanding fires the last, 20 years. If I'm going to direct or order, supplying from the attack pumper or the supply pump or the banker, if you will, and it's on the fire ground, I don't want LDH used. I just don't like LDH. And I've seen it fail too many times. I've seen the couplings fail. You can't move it around. You can't stretch it. I like the fact that there's a little bit of pressure involved to move the volume, to overcome any pump failures, to get it up the waterway, to overcome that, height loss. So just a gazillion different things that I'm hitting here in a short period of time. But when we talk about people before water, booster backup, please stop using LDH hose to feed one rig to the other rig when it's less than 300 feet in distance. And why do we use 75 feet? Because 50 is not long enough. 50, has one rig too close to the other, whether it's a Quint aerial device or your engines have the ladder chute coming out the rear. 75 feet allows the first engine and the second engine to be far enough apart that you could still get a tower ladder, ladder tower, straight stick, Quint, whatever, to squeeze in between the two rigs to ladder the building if necessary. 75 foot is a great length that anybody on the fire ground can roll out. We leave it roll with the male coupling out. Male coupling out. The threads are going to be fine. We drop it in that tray below the pump panel. And the first due rig, once it gets that attack line charged, the driver just rolls it out to the front or the rear, depending on which way they think that second due rig's coming in. It's going to give them their tank. When that second due rig gets there, they pull up. We call it the measuring stick. They position their apparatus based on where that female coupling lies. They hook it into their number 1 or 2 discharge. They send them water. It's a 75-foot 3-inch line. You can start out with 75 pounds. You could go up to 100, whatever you need to from there. But that's going to create a second tank of water in less than 60 seconds on arrival. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Anytime you have questions, leave them in the comments. That way I can answer them for anybody else that might have that same question. So I just opened up with, I'm about to have to go make breakfast for Lucas. He has his AP exam today, so I'm going to feed him. But Jess got me this yesterday. Yesterday we just talked about it. Be in competition with the man or woman in the mirror. Be the best version of you. Don't be in competition with anybody else. Don't let anybody stifle, discourage, or disappoint your mood, attitude, focus, vision for the day. I'm going to be at work the next 2 days, so I'm not going to be able to do a doc video. Friday, I'm checking into the Hilton for the next, 11 days for the 500 people coming to Command Officer Boot Camp. We sent out an email to all those that were registered yesterday. Hopefully you got it. Fill out that shuttle thing. I'll try to do a video from Pensacola Beach on Friday during the day, if not sometime Saturday. And I plan on hopefully soon doing a doc video on the windshield and the rear view mirror, focusing on the windshield, why it's so big, why the rear view mirror is so small. And you just gotta focus on where you're going. Stop thinking about where you've been. Stop thinking about the negativity. Stop thinking about the things that are holding you back. If I sat around and worried about all my problems and my bad days, my bad weeks, my bad years, I wouldn't get nowhere. And I'm going to tell you, this morning I could have slept in. I could have stayed in bed till 9 o'clock. I got up because Scott posted that I'd be down here at 6:30. So I too have a problem with consistency. It's tough, but I just had to force myself. Hey, John, thank you. Good morning. But just remember, you got to be focused. Lucas comes down here to fish. Last night he came down here to fish, and literally right before he came up, he hooked up with a nice big redfish. I posted it on my personal thing. So once again, sometimes you got to put in the time, just like coming down here. Lucas has got to put in the time to fish if he wants to catch a big redfish like he did last night. Sometimes he comes down here and he's down here for an hour, 2 hours. He catches a catfish or a stingray, and it's nerve-wracking. It's annoying, but you're going to have to go through the annoying things. You're going to have to do the mundane things. You're going to have bad days to have good days. and that's what it's all about. But what I want you to do today is focus on one goal. One goal. Just what's one positive thing you can do? Positive thing. And I tell you something Jessica and I started doing a few years ago is we make our bed every single day. Literally, we make our bed every day. And I tell you what, you know, that the naval commander talks about making your bed. It truly is a powerful thing. So if you don't make your bed, start doing that. And I tell you what, you'll like it, you'll enjoy it, and you'll have a great time. I'm going to close you out of this. I think there is 6. It's kind of like went to a stalemate. There's 6 CFT 50s left. So if you're somebody that's looking to invest and challenge yourself and force yourself to be here next year, do it today. The CFT 50. There's only 6 of them left. $600 to come to all 4 conferences next year. And once it's locked in, we're going to have an email able to group share rooms. We're going to make some of the one-room suites available that sleep 4 people, so people can split it 4 ways and make it like $45 a night for lodging per person. So whatever we can do, we just want to build a group of 50 individuals, 50, that at each conference next year will have time in a private room to just talk about their struggles, their vision, their hopes, and having to invest in yourself because your department just doesn't have the money, the training budget, but you're willing to pursue it. You'd be amazed at what will happen when you connect with the right people around the country and stop focusing on the people on your job that are not into the job. And I saw it yesterday. A couple different people posted, stop expecting people to be you. Stop expecting people to love the job like you. Biggest disappointment at a young age was wanting everybody to love the fire service like me. It took me too long to realize that I was lucky. I was the lucky one. And now I got friends all over the country that love the job like me. And I got friends in the 850. We're spoiled here in the 850. We have a lot of people that love the job. So God bless America. Have a great day. If you got the people before water in your email, please just type in got it. Just as appreciation for Scott sending it out to you in the comments. If you got the full PowerPoint on people before water, all you got to do is right now type in there, got it. That way Scott sees it. Thank you. Have a great day.